Picture, it's the year 2040, and everyone is fully adapted to spending hours of their lives in the metaverse. Now you're roaming around trying to find something to do, when you stumble across what appears to be a black cyborg-looking figure with a half-shaven head and green hair moonwalking through the map.
Except, it's actually 2022, and you're scrolling through social media only to see a digital rapper featuring a track with the popular Atlanta artist Gunna and thinking,
I'm out, man. That nigga's tripping.
Hey, what's good everybody? It's your boy, See Through the Script, back with another video, and today's topic is going to be about the recent rise and fall, sort of, if you can call it that, of the self-proclaimed robot rapper not accepted by this world, FN Meka. For those who have never heard of FN Meka, allow me to give you a quick little rundown. FN Meka is considered to be an artificial intelligence-based virtual rapper. Yes, you heard that correctly. Society has gone that far down the shitter. Might I add, he's not technically a robot, but the lyrics are generated using AI technology, but also voiced by a human. So technically he's more like a cartoon figure. These words are just thrown out loosely to make for a better headline. However, let's read briefly from daysdigital.com to get a bit more insight. Just a couple of weeks ago, it seemed like FN Meka was poised to become the next star in this line of artificially intelligent and always controversial performers. Having racked up more than 10 million followers on TikTok and hundreds of thousands of monthly listeners on Spotify, the self-proclaimed robot rapper signed a deal with Capitol Records on August 14th, dubbed the world's first AR, augmented reality artist, to sign with a major label. To celebrate, he also dropped a new single featuring Gunna and pro gamer Clicks. Things were looking up, especially if you're into Fortnite montages soundtracked by AI generated mumble rap. Quickly, I just want to add that it was announced on August 14th that Meka signed. The day that his team actually signed was on August 12th. Now, roughly a week after being signed to Capitol Records, FN Meka was dropped from the label, after people noticed some of the lyrics in the songs used had the N-word in it. The AI rapper continued raising eyebrows after people found out the digitally created black cyborg with green hair was conjured up by three men, none of them being black. Their names are Anthony Martini, Brandon Lee, and Chris Lee. Brandon Lee is said to be the designer of FN Meka, as he was known for making popular video game skins for characters back in 2010. Chris Lee is known for his brand RTFKT Studios, which makes NFT collectibles, and was the sponsor behind FN Meka. What's interesting is that Chris Lee is apparently from Salt Lake City, Utah, which is where FN Meka is from according to the website Virtual Human. We'll touch more on that later in the video. Shout out Genius for that information. However, let's talk a little bit more about Anthony. Anthony has been behind the scenes in the music industry for quite a long time now. According to good old Wiki, Anthony Martini is an American music manager and executive currently at Royal Exchange. He was formerly at Crush Management. He was also the lead vocalist of the rap metal band E-Town Concrete, which was formed back in 1995. Now listen to what he had to say about his project that he's working on.
Right now, all these worlds are sort of separated, right? You have like the virtual world, you have video game world, you have human world, all that. At some point, it's all going to be blurred anyway.
To further add to this whole debacle, news came out recently that the voice of FN Meka is actually done by a black guy who makes his own music under the stage name Kyle the Hooligan from Texas, according to Vice. Now, he recently came out saying on his Instagram,
so I know y'all probably been hearing about this FN Meka stuff. People been DMing me, like, and I try to keep it quiet because I was gonna really wait till this shit blew up for real and then like went after them, because basically it was like they came to me with this AI shit and was like, would I want to be the voice of it? And I thought it was gonna be like some collaboration. They promised me equity into the company, percentages, all this stuff. So I'm thinking like, okay, there's about to be some collab, something different for me, so where I could do my music and be on some AI stuff with this FN Meka character. So everything's going good. Next thing I know, niggas just ghosted me. Like, use my voice, use my sound, use the culture, and literally just left me high and dry. I ain't get a dime off of nothing. And they got record deals, all this stuff. I wasn't involved with no meetings or none of that, like, which is fucked up. So honestly, like, I'm glad they ass got canceled. Like, that's karma for the ass, because God don't play with me. I'm going to tell you that right now. Like,
honestly, everything he said in that clip reminds me to mention, for those who haven't watched my video on the rap game and how they be doing artists, be sure to check it out on my page. I'm gonna show y'all the picture right now. Anyways, y'all know what we do here. Let's break this down using some gematria and date numerology. Now, it's always best to start from the beginning, which for FN Meka started on April 22nd of 2019. Notice that is the 112th day of the year according to the Gregorian calendar. Of course, nothing mainstream isn't by the numbers. Take in how FN Meka in the reverse ordinal equals 112, matching the date of his first appearance. Moving on, the only reason I'm even talking about this is because the AI rapper actually got signed to a major label. Running some date numerology from FN Meka's 3-year anniversary of his first appearance to the day he got signed to Capitol Records was a span of 112 days apart. Again, we just discussed how he first appeared on the scene on the 112th day of the year and how his name has the value of 112. There's clearly a pattern, to say the least. The next thing that I wanted to point out is how he was signed 1,208 days from the day he first appeared on the web, according to Virtual Human. I find this interesting considering he signed on a day that can be written 12/08, like 1208. Also, a number that is stamped on rappers is the number 38. For a quick example, think about NBA Youngboy, who's also dubbed the 38 Baby, and then there's 38 Spesh out of New York, and honestly there's so much more examples. However, the word rapper equals 38 in Gematria, so it looks like the code even applies to digital rappers, as FN Meka's first appearance on the web has date numerology of 38, as you see here. What's also interesting is if you calculate the span of weeks and days from the first appearance of FN Meka to Anthony Martini's 40th, who's actually the main creator of FN Meka, is a span of 20 weeks and 30 days. Remember, in numerology, zeros are null, leaving us with the value of 23. Notice FN Meka in the most pure cipher equals 23. More numerical pattern stacking. While looking into this, I also noticed that Brendan Lee, the designer behind the digital rapper, also has a gematria connection. Notice how FN Meka and Brendan Lee both equal 50 in their respective ciphers. It's worth mentioning that the FN in FN Meka stands for Factory New, which is the so-called virtual label behind the digital rapper. Notice how FN Meka and Factory New have a 2-for-2 match out of the 4 base ciphers, and for those new, 130 turns into 13 as zeros are null and 13 is the numerical reflection of 31. Another numerical observation worth mentioning is that the report from the site Virtual Humans stated that the digital rapper is from Salt Lake City, Utah. Notice how FN Meka equals 50 like Utah and Factory New. Now, back to Anthony Martini real quick, the co-founder of FN Meka. Notice his name in the phrase AI robot rapper have a 3-for-3 match in the base ciphers of 73, 197, and 80. Now, this only makes further sense granted what he's heavily invested in. Alright, for this last numerical point, take it for what it is. I do find it interesting how the man who is mainly behind this monstrosity, Anthony Martini, is currently 42 years old, and the whole reason people are mad at his creation is for the fact that it was stealing and offending the black community. Now, for those new to Gematria, 42 is a number deeply rooted in black history. Once you understand Gematria, you find out words like the N-word, slavery, and February all equal 42. There's much more to that, but for the sake of the video, I'll keep it short. With all that being said, Anthony Martini's name holds the value of 181, which is the 42nd prime number. And isn't it just perfect how all of this N-word controversy occurs while he is currently 42 years old? Hopefully y'all get the point, is simply continuing the code of mockery on the black community. Even more fitting, granted the actual voice behind the artist, a black man who goes by the name of Kyle the Hooligan, was treated unfairly by the team behind the creation of FN Meka. But anyways, that's all for this breakdown on this whole FN Meka virtual augmented reality rapper situation. Yeah, that's a mouthful. But let me know what y'all think down in the comments. And also just want to say, has mainstream hip-hop officially lost its mind even trying to introduce such a thing? I mean, look at who is the current CEO of Capitol Records, who goes by the name of Michelle Jubileer. She don't even look like she really cares for the greater interests of the black community, if you feel me.
Oh, hell no.
But also, to tie everything all together, Michelle is actually Jesuit educated at the University of Fordham School of Law. So basically what I'm getting at is the Jesuits always have their fingerprints on anything that's mainstream and majorly captivating. But for real, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. It helps your boy out a lot. I appreciate you for watching, and I hope to see you at the next video.